How that woman could cook her food was like grand opera sound. Why, you could give her dining room table one look, right away you gain 7 pounds. A sick man could eat himself well pretty quick. And when he got well, he ate himself sick. And her pies, without question, would pure in deception. Ah, God, how that woman could cook.
Hi everybody, and welcome back to my kitchen. I'm glad to have you here for more of Gina's Good Looking Cooking. Today we're going to be doing one of my favorite things. I love chicken. Roast chicken is one of the best dishes you can make, and it takes an hour and 30 minutes to roast a chicken. It takes an hour and 30 minutes to roast 2 chickens. So this is the way I take advantage of ingredients and time and have extra things tucked away in my freezer to make weeknight dinners, meals in a hurry, something different. It keeps leftovers from being leftovers. Again, this is how I cook for 2 while still cooking for a crowd, and it just makes things so much easier. Again, today we're going to be making this delicious roast chicken. The ingredients you need follow: 2 whole chickens, 4 lemons, 3 whole heads of garlic, 4 tablespoons melted butter, salt and pepper, a large clump of thyme, and 4 sprigs of rosemary. Okay, I caught chicken on sale at my local grocery store this week. It was an amazing price, so I stocked up, and that's why I'm doing this today. We'll have roast chicken for dinner tonight. I'll bone the rest of it and package it in the freezer, and we'll have roast chicken ready at any time in the freezer to make quesadillas, anything that we want. It's just one of those things that freezes well. Again, it takes the same amount of time. Now I'm going ahead and taking the wings off of this. Football season's almost here. We all know what that means, wings on a Sunday afternoon. It's really simple. You can feel with your thumb where the joint is between the bones. There's a little dip between the 2 bones. Just put your knife right there in the center and swing it outward, and you've got your wing. I take the little flapper off the same way. Again, feel right there. There's a dip. Slice about halfway down through the cartilage. Remember, you're cutting toward yourself, so stop. And then come up the rest of the way. That goes into the bag for stock later. And then the same when you take the drummy off, and just halfway down and then back up to separate. These are, like I said, going to go in a bag in the freezer. There will be wings many times during football season. And also with this, after I'm done roasting this chicken and I take the skin off and the bones out, that is all going to go in the stock bag as well, because it still has a lot of life left in it. And it has a lot of flavor that can add to your stock. And when I get a bag full, I just put a pot of water on, dump that in it, let it simmer for a couple of hours, and then I've got delicious homemade stock. I know everything that's in it. I know what I'm giving my family, and it just makes food better. So now we took the wings off. We've got the chickens here. It is just simple, basic ingredients from this point on. We're going to slice 2 lemons in half. And then we're going to take 2 whole heads of garlic, not cloves, root, the whole thing. Don't worry about peeling it. Just slice both of those in half. I have a couple of nice stems of thyme here. Thyme I would not recommend skipping. It just makes everything taste delicious. It's got a nice lemony, light flavor. I also have a couple of stems of rosemary. I grow a lot of my herbs in the backyard, so I always take advantage of that. And I think chicken and rosemary go well together, but by all means, it's an optional ingredient. I just happen to like it. Other than that, we have salt, pepper, and a little melted butter to brush on the top. It's the most delicious roast chicken you will ever have. Pour out a little salt and a little pepper in something separately. That way you can just, what you don't use, throw away. You always have to be super careful when you're using chicken and make sure everything stays immaculately clean, hands and utensils. We're just going to salt really well down into the cavity of the chicken, and also pepper. We'll do that on both of these. Just a good healthy pinch of both. Now I'm going to put a couple of sprigs of thyme in the cavity. Push it nice and deep all the way in. This is just going to flavor the chicken from the inside out. Your house is going to smell wonderful. Take half of that whole head of garlic, the lemon, another half of the garlic, and another half of the lemon. Put a couple of sprigs of rosemary in, and that one's done. We'll do the same thing over here. We've already got our thyme in here, lemon and garlic, and more lemon and more garlic. And again, this is not the peel. It all is loaded with flavor. Don't throw it away. And every bit of this is going to go into my stock bag. I'll use that garlic again. We'll continue to get more and more out of it. Now at this point, I just tie the legs together just to keep that cavity closed. I have some unbleached kitchen string here. I don't know how to do it well. I just make it close up. I wrap a couple of figure eights around, and then I bring it back through and I tie it together. This just keeps everything closed up nice and tight. All the lemon and the garlic and the herb are tucked inside there, getting everything flavored. And we'll do the same thing on this one. Now what I'm using to cook this in is one of my favorite things ever. It's a roaster oven. You see it back here. If it's only once a year during the holidays that you wish you had a bigger oven, it's definitely worth it to purchase this. It will roast up to a 22-pound turkey. As you see, I'm going to be able to do 2 whole chickens side by side. It has the ability to be a slow cooker. It can bake. You can do cakes, pies, breads in it. It's one of those things that has a lot of different jobs that it can do. I like that type of appliance accessory a lot better than things that only serve one purpose. You could crock pot a huge batch of chili in this. You can bake 2 loaves of bread. It's just a pretty cool little thing to have. And again, like I said, if it's only once a year that you need a little more oven space, it pays for itself immediately. So look into that if you don't have one. I'm sure we all remember someone from our past that had one, and it's just a great thing to add to your arsenal. It makes things a lot easier. You know, we're not heating up the kitchen. It's not, you know, the oven's free to do other things. So now I have these chickens stuffed. I'm going to go ahead now and salt the outside. I like to just reach up under the skin, loosen it from the breast a bit. I do take the skin off after it's cooked. I leave it on because it adds so much flavor during the roasting, but I take it off after it's cooked, so I want the flavor to be under the skin as well as on the surface. So I just separate the skin a little under the breast here on both of these chickens. Go up in there with a little bit of salt, just kind of rub it around, a little pepper, and make sure everything's seasoned inside and out. Same on this one, a little salt inside, a little pepper. A little more salt on the outside. And it looks like a lot, but remember, this is a lot of meat. Like I said, I caught chicken on sale. I got this for 69 cents a pound. Each of these chickens are almost 6 pounds a piece. I paid less than $10 for it. This is going to give me 6 to 8 meal ingredients, and I just don't think you can beat that for under $10. So check your sale papers. Take advantage of things when they run them on sale. Use your freezer wisely. I promise you, if you start freezing your own food, people say they don't have space for it. Well, when you stop buying things that come with all the box and package and labeling, and you start filling it with containers full of homemade fresh food, you can still take advantage of a refrigerator freezer in your kitchen. You know, if you have an option to have a garage refrigerator, one in the utility room, fill it with yummy things and not cardboard. Now I've got 4 tablespoons of melted butter here. I'm not going to use the whole amount. That's just a starting point. And I'm going to brush this whole chicken well with that. And that's just going to help this skin get all nice and crispy and golden brown. Like I said, I'm going to save all of this after we're done with our meal. The skin, the carcass, when I bone it out for the freezer packages. That's all going to go in my stock bag, so I want everything to have as much flavor as possible through all the different things that it becomes. So now we've brushed it really well with the butter. I'm going to just quarter up another lemon here and split open more garlic. The pan juices that you get with this are delicious. Drain a little of the fat off, reduce this down, and you have a delicious gravy. Again, we're going to strain all the juices, so it doesn't matter whether it has the peel on it or not. That's just more flavor that we would normally be throwing in the trash. And if I bought it, I want to use it all. And I want to make everything that I serve my family as good as it can possibly be. So now we're just going to take the lid off this. It's been preheating at 450 degrees. The chickens are on the rack that lifts over and goes right inside it. I'm going to take this extra lemon and garlic, squeeze a little lemon over the chicken, and just scatter the rest around in the baking pan. It's going to flavor the pan juices. It's going to give us a delicious gravy when this is done. The lid goes back on, and this cooks for an hour and a half. And again, it cooks for an hour and a half if it's 1 chicken or 2. So this is definitely one of those recipes you want to take advantage of. Roast 2. When you clean up tonight, the second one will be cool enough to skin and bone. Label a couple of zipper bags and pop it in the freezer, and you've got quesadillas, you have dinner salads, you've got any number of things you can imagine with it. So again, it's not leftovers, it's cooking extra and reinventing it for another meal. We'll be back in a little bit to check on that. I'm going to clean this up. I'm making a delicious broccoli salad to go with this, and I'm going to do a little skillet roasted potato, and that's going to be dinner tonight. So I'll see you back in just a few minutes to get the broccoli salad in the refrigerator. Hi everybody, and welcome back. The chicken's roasting away here behind me. The house smells delicious. It smells like garlic and lemon. I'm going to mix up a quick little cold broccoli salad. I love salads with my meal, but I get tired of leafy greens. I also like to figure out new ways to work vegetables in. Steamed broccoli does get old after a while. So this is just a cold broccoli salad. If you make extra, this would go great with a little of our leftover rotisserie chicken the next day for a lunch. It's a really easy and delicious recipe. I hope you give it a try. The ingredients you need to make this follow. 4 cups broccoli and cauliflower, 1/2 cup green onion, 1/2 cup grated carrots, 1/4 cup sunflower seeds, 1/4 cup raisins, 2 tablespoons chopped pimiento, 2 slices crumbled bacon, 1/3 cup mayonnaise, 1/3 cup plain fat-free Greek yogurt, 2 tablespoons sugar, 1/2 cup red wine vinegar, 1/2 cup grated sharp cheddar cheese, salt, pepper, and the juice of half a lemon. Okay, the broccoli and the cauliflower, I would say just making a salad for Mike and I'm probably used 1/4 of a head of cauliflower and 1/4 to 1/2 of a big crown of broccoli. I did blanch it for just a quick period of time in boiling water, only about 2 minutes. Then I threw it into ice water to cool it down quickly and drained it well. I like it to have just a little bit of the raw edge taken off of it, but still be nice and crispy. So that's my solution to that. And this salad looks like it has a lot of ingredients, but really most everything we have in our pantry or our refrigerator. It's easy to make substitutions. It's just a dump and go delicious side dish. So to the broccoli, we're going to add the thinly sliced green onions. If you didn't have green onions, whatever onion you have, if you don't like onions, leave it out. I had some carrots. What I did was I peeled my carrot, and then I just continued after I got it peeled with the peeler and shaved off these long thin strips. That goes in there. Raisins and sunflower seeds. You could put cranberries and pumpkin seed, any number of combinations you want. Again, this is just a suggestion. Nothing's ever carved in stone in my kitchen. I had pimentos, so I decided to throw them in there. I'm going to have some bacon a little later with a roasted potato that I'm doing to go along with this meal. I've got the skillet that I cooked the bacon in waiting. I'm going to just real quickly microwave a couple of potatoes until they're almost done. Cube them up, throw them in that skillet, top them with a little of this crumbled bacon. So I cooked 4 slices. I'm going to use half of it in the salad and then set the other half aside for the potato dish later. And then we're going to put the grated cheddar. I like sharp cheddar. I like cheese that has a lot of flavor in this. The broccoli's a strong taste. The cheese goes really well with it, as we know. Just give all this a nice toss. Get everything blended. You've got everything mixed all the way through. And then, again, it's another one of those recipes that's so easily adaptable. I immediately started thinking, well, I should have chopped some celery, or I should have added this, or I should have added that. So whatever you have works great. So I decided to pull out some celery seed from my spice cabinet. I'm just going to toss a little bit of that in there. Some dill. would be really good in it. So I pulled out my dried dill out of the spice cabinet also. Just going to put a couple of little shakes in there. You don't want it to taste strong, just extra added layers of flavor that just make it a really delicious side dish, main course salad for lunch, you name it. Toss some cold cooked pasta with it. It's just wonderful. That's all mixed together now. We're going to do the dressing. You can make this with all mayonnaise. You can make it with all fat-free mayonnaise. I like the mixture of regular mayonnaise and fat-free unflavored Greek yogurt. It makes it really creamy and smooth dressing without the guilt from a full fat mayonnaise-based salad. And the red wine vinegar is going to add a lot of flavor to it as well. This takes a half a cup. Go ahead and stir that in. It helps to thin it down and make it more like a dressing. We're going to add this little bit of sugar. It's a sweet and sour type thing. It goes really well with all these vegetables. And then just give that a quick whisk. Get it all mixed in together. We'll toss this on the salad. This is probably more dressing than the salad will need, but it's delicious tomorrow as a leftover lunch salad. You might want to add a little bit more. Stir in a little more of the fat-free yogurt to thicken it up a little bit. Turn it into a dinner salad dressing tomorrow night with some tossed leafy greens. So we have that all blended now. I'm just going to pour a little bit, probably about half of it over this. Give everything a good stir. Make sure all the vegetables are coated well with the dressing. You don't want it to be all soggy and wet. We just want everything to have a little taste of the dressing on it. Now we'll add just a little bit of salt and a little pepper. Be sure you taste things before you serve it to your family. Make sure it's seasoned well. If it needs a pinch of this, if it's missing something, you can always take care of that before you plate it and serve it to your family and friends. You're always guaranteed that your delicious dishes are going to bring smiles to people's faces. We're just going to cut this lemon in half now. Squeeze the juice, catch the pit, over this. Lemon juice and zest just add a really fresh flavor to everything. And that's it. That's our broccoli salad ready to go for later this evening when the chicken's done. I'm going to get this covered up, put it in the refrigerator. This is one of those things that tastes just better with time. If you can make it early in the day and just let it sit all day long, the next day it's even better. I really hope you give it a try, and we'll be back in just a bit. The chicken was in the roaster for an hour and a half. Now in this, it doesn't necessarily brown the skin up nice and crispy and golden. So about 15 minutes before it was done, I preheated my broiler. When the chicken was done in the roaster, I put it under the broiler for about 5 minutes just to get that skin nice and crispy and brown. So we're ready to pull it out now. And it is amazing. Again, if you were doing this in the oven the whole time for the full hour and a half, you wouldn't necessarily need that step. However, it's, again, summer in Texas, and I'd much rather have this low heat going for an hour and a half and the broiler for 5 minutes. Now I'm going to cover this with aluminum foil, just loosely tint it, let it sit here, and the juices redistribute throughout the meat. This is going to be the most delicious roast chicken you've ever had. I microwaved about 5 medium to small red potatoes with the skin on until they were just done, and I've cubed them. The skillet that I used earlier today to cook up the bacon for the broccoli salad, I set aside, I drained the grease off of it. I'm going to toss these cubed cooked potatoes in that and crisp them up a little bit. Add the remainder of the bacon that I cooked earlier, the 2 slices left over. The broccoli salad is in the refrigerator, ready to dish up. So we'll be back in a little while with the finished dinner. After dinner's over and kitchen cleanup happens, the second chicken will be cooled enough to bone and skin and divide up. I have freezer bags already labeled and ready. So it's dinner tonight. We'll eat, give or take, half the chicken. And then I'll have a whole chicken and a half to package and put in the freezer for other recipes. Again, it's all about not having leftovers, just having a lot of delicious ingredients to make new things quickly. So we'll see you back in a few. Well, here you go. This is dinner tonight. Roast chicken, the most delicious roast chicken you'll ever have. I like leg quarters, Mike likes breasts, so we take care of half a chicken easy. We roasted 2, so I've got 3 more portions of this chicken that I'll be boning after dinner during kitchen cleanup and packaging for the freezer for delicious dishes in the future. I microwaved a couple of red potatoes until they were just done, cubed them up, and browned them up real quickly in the skillet that I sauteed the bacon in for our broccoli cauliflower cold salad. It's a perfect meal. The chicken freezes well. If you have leftover salad, the chicken goes into it for lunch tomorrow. I hope you try it and love it as much as we do. We'll see you again for another episode of Gina's Good Looking Cooking.
Oh, how that woman could cook her food was like grand opera sound. Why, you could give her dining room table one look, right away you gain 7 pounds. A sick man could eat himself well pretty quick, and when he got well, he ate himself sick, and her pies without question. Put pure in deception. Oh, God, how that woman could cook.